Hello and welcome to Denise Jane Knits. I'm Denise, um, and this is the first of what I hope will be a long-term project. I'm going to talk about my knitting and my crochet. Um, I have to say I'm not a designer. I don't own a shop or anything like that. I would just call myself a maker, which I think many of us are. Okay, so I've always been a knitter ever since I can remember. Both my mum and my grandmother were knitters, and one of them must have taught me at some point during my childhood, because I've always been able to knit for as long as I can remember. Crochet, on the other hand, has become a more recent thing. I only learnt to crochet about 3 years ago, but it has become my passion since then. So for this first one, I thought I'd just talk about what I'm doing at the moment, and then maybe later on talk about what I want to do in the future. This, I hope, will also be a way of keeping me, what should we say, keeping me on the straight and narrow, really, and not letting projects just fall by the wayside. And I have got something to show you at the end which kind of illustrates that. Okay, so the first thing I am going to show you is a pair of socks. Now, I'm not very good at socks. The last pair of socks I knitted was actually for my grandson when he was a baby, and he's almost 11 now, so it was a long time ago. And I remember it being very small, very fiddly, and I really couldn't get on with it, and that kind of put me off, really. But just before Christmas, I joined Stitches and Cream Yacht Club, Sock Club, sorry, Yacht Club, Sock Club. And this, so this was a New Year's Eve cast on. And you're going to say, Denise, you haven't done very much. Well, no, I haven't done very much. This is the Petty Harbour Knits by Raina Curtis. And this is actually the third attempt to do this, which is why I haven't done a great deal. I started with a small circular needle, couldn't get on with that. I started with a longer circular needle, like 30-inch circular needle, couldn't get on with that. So I'm back to double point needles, and they're a bit fiddly, but it's working. So you know, I'm going to continue with this. So the yarn is the Fibre Company, Amber Wandering Souls. I'll show that there. And the colourway is Blencathra. And this literally is as far as I've got. So it's a top down, so that's the ribbing at the start, and I've probably done about 3 repeats of the pattern there. It is a slow process. As I say, I'm not used to socks. It is something that I want to get into more and more. I have got some other yarn here for some more knitted socks, depending on how these ones turn out. But yeah, so that's the first project, and we'll see how it goes. The second project, another knitting project, and it's this. This is the Anne. Oh, sorry, I've got my notes down here. This is the Anne wrap. It's a free pattern from Rowan. So if you go onto the Rowan website, I think it will probably be there. Sorry, I'm getting confused with my circular here. And it's meant to be a wrap, but it's got quite a, you can see through that, and it's knitted in Rowan Kid Silk Haze, and it's like a gradiated colourway. So this is the colourway Blackcurrant, and again, this is like the third attempt at this. I started on a 5mm needle, which is what the pattern recommended, but I would just found it was just too much. Maybe I was knitting too loose or something like that. So I've had to go down a needle size, and it is coming up much better. But as you can see, it is meant to be quite see-through. Actually, it matches my top there. So that's the colourway Blackcurrant, and I've got the other colours here. There's plum, magenta, burgundy, scarlet, and ruby. And look at those. I'll hold those up. Gorgeous, aren't they? And obviously it starts with that one, and it's a gradual sort of ombre effect. So those are those, and it's quite, it's quite straightforward stocking stitch with a garter stitch band. So that is lovely, very easy to do, but it's just the yarn is obviously a bit thin. Third knitting project is from this book. I'll show you. It's a King Cole pattern, so obviously I can't show you the pattern, but the what I'm knitting is this. It's a baby jacket with a hood, so a baby hoodie, and there's some cabling in there as well. The pattern I think called for a mohair. Let me see. Alpaca, sorry. It was a baby alpaca, which is not very practical for a baby. This is for my goddaughter's son, who will be turning 1 in April. So I'm actually knitting it. So I didn't do it in the alpaca because that is quite delicate and it's not very practical for a baby, let's face it. So this is in acrylic, premium acrylic, a Women's Institute. That's the back. That's as far as I've got so far. Obviously it's knitted in sections. It's the back, start at the bottom, work up, shaping for the shoulders. Not much shaping obviously because it's for a baby. So that's the back's done. And yeah, I need it for April, and as I say, it will be finished by then. Next thing I have on the go is this gorgeous thing. This is a shawl. God, look at those colours. Even on the camera it's coming up fantastic. Now this is an old pattern that I've had for a while. It's called a Secret Garden Autumn Shawl, and it doesn't have a name on it. I'm so sorry. And this is obviously a crochet pattern, but I'm using, look at me under there, I'm using Boho Spirit, and it's in the colourway Festival. And you can see all those beautiful colours in there. Is practically every row is a different colourway. I'll just put that through the camera. And this does work up very quickly. I only started this at the weekend, and it's Friday today, so yeah, it's worked up quite quickly and very, very kind of straightforward to follow. And then the second crochet project I've got is also a wrap. This is Wrap by Sandra Rhodes. This is not all of it, I have to say. It's basically just worked squares. Well, I have to say they're supposed to be squares, but I've done more kind of rectangular shapes. I didn't read the pattern right, to be honest with you, and they've come out rectangular, so I've had to work them because you're meant to be able to put some that way, but I've had to put them all kind of that way. So there's 3 of them joined, 9 of them joined together, sorry, so far, and obviously it's a lot longer, and then once they're all together you do an edging. So the yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners. This lovely purple is Thistle Purple. The yellow is a Citrus Lemon, I think. And then there's a multi-colourway which is called Sandra's Rainbow. I mean, Sandra Rhodes is an English designer known for lots and lots of colour, and there are sort of lots of colours in that. Okay, and then the last thing, unfortunately, I am dubbing my shawl of shame. And as I said before, part of doing this is to hold myself accountable for what I am doing. So in here is a shawl that I've had on the needles. Now, I don't know how long, basically, it's got to be 8 years, maybe even longer. And I don't know why it's been there for so long. The pattern is Bethany by Julie Ferguson, and that's a picture of what it should look like at the end. And I got this from a magazine. Obviously I haven't got the magazine. The yarn is Manos del Uruguay. It's a silk blend, and in the colour Wildflowers. So obviously I'm drawn to colour, which you wouldn't think by what I'm wearing today, but anyway, I am drawn to a bit of colour. So I don't know why it's been just been sitting here for so long. I ordered the yarn that the pattern recommended, but I think because I run out very quickly, I had to order some more, and it didn't quite match because it's hand-dyed yarn. And I think there is a line where you can see, maybe it's not so noticeable. So yeah. Well, I thought there was a line that you could see where the third skein had started. But anyway, this is all I have left. And let's face it, it wouldn't take me very long to finish it, so I don't know what to do with it, really. At the same time, I did buy the yarn for the fringing, and that's an Artisano 100% alpaca, but as you can see, it's still sitting here unused. And that would be for the light fringe on the outside. So yeah. Yes, I might move that downstairs and put it where I sit and do my knitting and try and finish it. But have I lost interest in it? That's the thing. Anyway, so yeah, thank you for watching. Today is 19th of January, and I have been meaning to do this, as I say, for quite a long time. It's cold and icy outside, so what better way to spend the day was sitting inside talking about my knitting and my crochet. And yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs, carry on now, and let's get on. If you like what you've seen, please like and subscribe, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you again very soon.